Hello, beautiful people. It is Kanika popping back in with another video. So for this week, we're talking about why you should hire a professional organizer. So I'm going to be giving you 5 solid reasons why I believe you should hire a professional organizer. Now, you might think I'm coming off a little bit biased or that this is all a marketing ploy to get you to buy services, organizing services from yours truly. And although that would be great, I really am posting this video so that you can truly understand the significance of the work that we do and really how you could benefit from the service. Now, again, I might be a little bit biased, but I just think that professional organizers are little home unicorns. We're little magicians when it comes to creating, just functional, beautiful, organized solutions in your home that just make your life a little bit easier when you walk through your door from work, from running errands, from whatever else was outside before you walked in the house. Okay? So hopefully this video serves you well. Now, if you are new here, I am a professional organizer. I have been doing this professionally for the last 3 years and some change. I have worked with well over 200 organizing clients. And when I say work with them, I am talking about hands-on in people's homes, touching their stuff, creating systems, creating beautiful organized solutions that just make it easier for them to function at home and feel better about their home. So that's a little bit about what I do. Now, before we dive into the goodness of this video, you guys, I need your support. Go ahead, like this video if you find it helpful. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every single time I post a new video. Y'all, we're going to get this YouTube channel up and going. So all of the support, as simple as it is, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it from you. All right, let's just go ahead and dive in. The reasons why I believe you should hire a professional organizer. The very first being, y'all, when you are working with a legitimate professional organizing business, meaning they have a business, they are operating legally within the state, they, have worked with other clients, they have a process. They have a proven framework, a signature process, a signature framework that works for every single client that they are serving, right? And so they're rinsing and repeating, right? They fleshed out all of the, details of getting a space from point A to point B, and they are taking all of those things that they have acquired, all of those processes that they have developed over time, and they are implementing it in your space, but making it custom to your space. And so that is the biggest piece of benefit that you're going to get when you are working with a professional organizer. It's the same with any other service-based business, right? You're hiring a service to, or you're hiring a business to come and complete a service for you. You're expecting them to have the bones of the service down packed. You're expecting them to be able to deliver the service and have a framework that they can follow to get your space from point A to point B, or whatever it is that you're investing in, right? And so that's also going to be true for a professional organizer. They know exactly what they need to do to get you from completely feeling overwhelmed to having, cluttered spaces, to having disorganized homes, to fully functional, organized, beautiful systems in your home, right? And so they are taking you on a journey, and your expectation of them is that they have the process to get you there. And so that is going to be the biggest reason why I say you should hire a professional organizer. If you are trying to DIY it yourself and you are realizing that, this is a little bit hard, or this ain't looking like how they look on Pinterest and Instagram, it's probably because you don't have a solid process, right? This is not something that you have put a lot of thought into, perhaps, or something that you may just struggle with, and you don't have a process. That's why you invest in the service, right? You invest in a professional organizer who has the process. That is going to be the very first thing, or the very first reason as to why I believe you should hire a professional organizer. You're hiring them for the framework, for the process to get you from point A to point B. The second reason why you should hire a professional organizer is time, right? You have spent days, weeks, months, years completely, disorganizing your home or cluttering up your space. And now that you have kind of reached your breaking point and you're like, I'm going to get the space organized, maybe you try to DIY it yourself and you realize, like, yo, this actually is a lot of work. It's going to take me a long time to get this done. One, or two, you realize this is not working for me. It has not been working for me for a while. However, I don't have the time to sit and play around with trying to create the systems, right? So typically those are the two options, right? You try to DIY it yourself and realize, whoo, this is a lot. It's going to take me a long time. Or secondly, you realize I don't have the capacity, I don't got the time, I don't got the mental fortitude to deal with any of this. I just need to hire someone. That is the benefit of working with a professional organizer. We are going to, take all of the years or months of dysfunction that you've been living with, and we're going to consolidate all of that with our proven framework in a matter of days, sometimes even hours, depending on the scope of your project, right? And so when I say days, I'm literally talking about like a week or less typically. A lot of our projects, for instance, Tidied by K, we get our projects done in 2 days, right? And so what took you a full 3 years to kind of get to a point where this is a shit show, this is completely not working for me, we can come in a matter of 2-3 days max. Your space is completely revamped. It is decluttered, meaning not only is it decluttered, it's out of your home. We're not putting donation bags at your door telling you to get rid of it later on, right? We're taking it out. So your entire spaces are fully decluttered. They are functional, they are organized, everything is labeled. We walk you through the process, we walk you through the system so that you understand. That's what we're talking about. We're doing things in a matter of days, and I'm pretty sure like your brain couldn't even fathom getting the spaces done that quickly. And that is the benefit or the bonus of working with a professional organizer. We are going to be, just more expedient in our efforts of creating function and organized solutions in your home. Y'all, the time, it just speaks for itself. I will spend my last sometimes when it comes to investing in a service that I know I need, but I don't have the mental fortitude to try to figure it out. I don't have the time, or I can't prioritize it to get it done, right? Not by myself, not DIY. I'll just spend the money. That's really just, speaking to how I see the value in something, but then also recognizing that I just don't have it in me to get it done. And it's going to be more efficient for this professional to get it done, or this expert within this space to get it done, versus me trying to expend my time or resources to figure it out and DIY it myself. The third reason why it may be more advantageous for you to hire a professional organizer is because we are coming in with all of the creativity to completely revamp your space, right? What I see a lot of times from my clients is that they have kind of tapped out in terms of creating functional systems that work for their day-to-day routines, right? They have gone to the Pinterest, they've gone to the YouTubes, they've gone to the Instagrams, right? They've looked at all of these different variations of organized spaces online, and then they try to make those spaces applicable to them and their homes, and a lot of times it doesn't work, right? And so they're now tapped out on what to do, how to figure it out themselves, what products to buy, and they realize they spent a lot of money, they spent their time, and they really don't have much to show for it at all, if anything. And so that is the power of working with a professional organizer. We're just going to come in with a certain level of creativity, a certain level of insight, so that we can literally just hit the ground running with creating systems that make sense for your day-to-day routines and for how you want the space to work and feel and be and operate and all of those things, right? And so that is going to be an added bonus as to why you should work with a professional organizer. It's not to say that you can't fully DIY your own organizing solutions, right? Organization is definitely a teachable skill. It is a learnable skill. I do believe that everyone can learn to be organized. However, I can say that a lot of times you just kind of tap out in your creativity level, and you need a third party to come in and be a little bit more intentional with how you can create systems that are actually going to work for you. And then once the framework has been set, you follow the framework, right? And it kind of relieves you of all of the pressure of coming up with all of the solutions on your own, especially when you have kind of topped out or you don't really have a frame of reference to kind of support you in creating the systems that you need. Reason number 4 as to why you should hire a professional organizer is because we're just not attached to your stuff. And I mean this in the most respectful way, right? When I say we're not attached to your stuff, it's not to say that we don't care about your stuff, that we're going to be throwing stuff away all willy-nilly, that we're going to be breaking stuff, right? That's not what I mean. We're definitely going to take extreme care of your things. We're going to treat your things as if there are things, right? However, we don't have the emotional attachments. We don't have the memories associated with these things, the people connected to the physical items. Like those things, those sentimental attachments don't exist for us. So it's very easy for us to come in and be very objective with the items in your home, right? And so when you get on a sales call with us or a consultation call and you say, okay, this is really what is not working in my space, these are the goals that I have for my space, and this is how I want the space to make me feel. As an organizer, we come in with those three concepts or themes, and we are able to be very objective with, okay, this is what you said on our call. This is how you want the space to feel. You also mentioned that you haven't worn these for the last 8 years. Is this something that we can part ways with, right? We're going to be more objective. You are more attached to the physical things in your home, which sometimes when you're trying to DIY this yourself, that sentimental attachment just kind of bogs you down to a point where you're not able to make those executive decisions on a quick basis to create the space in your home. Hiring a professional organizer eliminates that struggle for you, right? We're coming in, we're going to be very intentional with the goals that we have for the space, and then also, aligning the goals with very tangible action steps that align to our process to help you get from point A to point B. That is, y'all, when I think about like the benefits of working with someone who has a proven framework, who has a process, who tells me the steps 1, 2, and 3 to get to the end goal, like it takes this weight off of you. It takes this mental load off to the point where like you can fully trust the process and trust the service provider, because like they have your best interest at heart. They're operating within the goals that you've communicated to them. And at the end of it is going to yield the results that you're looking for without all of the, mental fog that you may have as you've been trying to DIY it yourself. And then tip number 5 as to why I believe you should hire a professional organizer is really just being able to tap into someone else's brain, right? When I say professional organizers, most professional organizers have like this intrinsic ability to just organize, right? Some have developed the skill over time, but I want to say a handful of us just have like this innate ability to just look at something, play Tetris in our head, and make it work in a space, right? I say that for, people who just have like these natural skills, these natural talents. I've always been, complimented on how organized my spaces were, how I was able to maximize the smallest of spaces, right? These have always been compliments of mine. So being able to tap in my brain for someone who doesn't have like this natural skill or this natural inkling to organize is a bonus. It's a value add. I am a natural teacher, right? I love communicating information to people. And so being able to share my knowledge to my clients is something that truly excites me. And I know that they get extreme value from learning how to think more like an organizer, being more intentional about the things that they're bringing in, right? These are all concepts that I talk to my clients about when I'm physically in their space, because I want them to understand this is the reason why you got to this point, right? You're constant buying. You're not being really intentional about the things that you're bringing in. You're not creating a home for the things as soon as they come in. These are concepts that I'm frequently communicating with my clients, because once I leave, I want the systems to be long-term. I want them to embody, more productive habits. And when I'm working with them in person, I'm able to teach them these things. I am able to share my experiences with my clients. I am able to kind of course correct some of the thinkings that they have while I'm there in their space. And that is going to be a benefit. If you are wanting to work with an organizer who is going to teach you the skills that you need, who is going to, take their time and kind of ensure that you understand the habits that kind of got you in the rut, but then also the productive habits that are going to allow you to keep those systems that they've established for you, that is going to be a value add when you are deciding to work with a professional organizer. And so hopefully these 5 reasons are enough to kind of help you understand the power of working with the professional organizer. Working with the professional organizer is going to be similar to working with any other service professional, right? Whether you're bringing in a plumber, or you're bringing in a carpenter, or you're bringing in an interior designer. The systems that you are investing in, the processes that you are investing in, the creativity that you are going to gain from them, the knowledge that you are going to gain for them are all of the reasons why you invest in the service. Professional organizing is all in the same of those, examples that I just referenced. You are going to get so much more out of working with the service provider than just the functional organized spaces. And that's why I see this as a true benefit to you, and why you should hire a professional organizer if it's something that has been on your heart, on your spirit to do. Beautiful people, those are the 5 reasons why I believe you should hire a professional organizer. I'm curious to know, one, if you have worked with a professional organizer. Drop in the comments what your experience was like and why you decided to work with the organizer. And if you have any lingering questions as to, working with the professional organizer, I am happy to answer. Just leave your comment, your question in the comment section below, and I will be sure to address it. If you are looking for your very own professional organizer, we do offer virtual organizing services, so you could literally be anywhere in the world, just as long as you got some strong Wi-Fi and just the willingness to take direction. I would love to chat with you. I'll leave the link in my description box so you can inquire below. And then secondly, if you are looking for some in-person organizing, we also would love to serve you. We are based out of Atlanta. However, we are happy to travel. We are traveling actually next week to New York to tackle a living room for a client. So we are happy to travel to you. Just, like I said, I'll put the little information in the description box so you guys can reach out below if you are interested. And that's all I got. Y'all remember, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to support your girl in growing this YouTube channel. And I will be back next week. All right, y'all. Peace.